battery's about to die on my GoPro. I can see it, and I don't have any others charged. Be right back. This is all ice back here too. Yeah, I'm going in a second. When in doubt, throttle out. Alright, fresh battery. As I was saying, you may have remembered we had this guy in the Hillbilly garage back the last little bit we worked on Zippy. And you may have realized we never worked on it. Well, I did work on it. Things didn't go so well. So while we hold this guy up into the Hillbilly garage, I better catch you guys up with what happened. So if you guys are new to the channel and haven't seen any of the previous videos of Project Wounded Warrior, I'll make sure to put a card here in the upper right corner you guys can click on and go see the playlist. See exactly what all we've done to get fully caught up. But pretty much there was enough little things kept just coming up with this machine that we never got to actually fully ride it, and we still had some things left to do. Like I had no brakes or anything like that. She was smoking pretty good. So that's what I started to do here last year when we got it back in the garage. So I figured since it was smoking pretty good, even though it was running, we'd go ahead and do at least a partial top end rebuild where we pull it off. As you guys see here, I cleaned up the head, cleaned up the valves, I re-honed the cylinder. I got a new top end rebuild because the piston ring actually broke on me as I was pulling stuff apart. So it was brittle, it's probably why it was smoking. So we got new piston rings. And I actually come to find out when I started this that the bore of this 350 Warrior was actually honed out a little bit. It was measuring around 84 centimeters when stock it's 83 point something. So that was a little bit of a bonus that somebody did bore this out a little bit. However, that might also be the reason for the problems you're going to see later on with this video when we go to fire it up, but I don't know. But anyway, we didn't have any brakes, so I had to replace the rear brakes. I put a new caliper on, but we didn't have nothing, so I went ahead and replaced the whole brake reservoir for the rear. And although I thought we'd be able to say bye-bye to this complete stock one, coming to find out the one I heard ordered off to Amazon, as you can see, the line was way too short and it would not work. So what I did is I took the pump mechanism and put it on the old line and reservoir, and we were good to go. It worked good, and I did go ahead and grab another rear brake caliper and throw on there where we was at it because I figured, why not? I went with a little better one this time. And as you can see, that did the trick. We're locking up the rear brakes. Another thing I wanted to do while I had it in last year was replace the handlebars because the ones that were on it were slightly bent from who knows what, I don't know. So I went ahead and picked up a new set of handlebars. Handlebar. Of course, you gotta make sure to find that optimal seating position. Let's go. And don't those blue Yamaha handlebars just look fancy on this girl? Woo! And as you guys can see by this wonderful weld job here, we had some exhaust work to do on the old girl. What had happened was I think it rusted, and you see how we're actually short here where these two pipes come together. I think what they did is maybe had a hole, just cut out the piece that had the hole and welded it back together in that very unprofessional looking manner. So I wanted to fix this, so what I did here is I cut it where that bad weld was, cleaned her all up. We're going to add an extension piece to it, and hopefully that gets us back to where we need so them pipes meet together and works much better. And plus, not having a welder for very long and not being anywhere near professional, the more I can weld, the more practice I can get, and the better my welds are going to get. So this was an absolutely perfect way to practice my welding skills. Now that's what we wanted, a little extension piece in there. This is fitting the whole way back in here. I just need to put a clamp on there. And we are good. Good, good, good. So all that's left to do is throw the rest of the plastics back on, fire up. All right, moment of truth. We're gonna see if she'll start. I probably won't let her run for very long though, because rebuilding the top end and holding the cylinder, there will be oil in there that's gonna smoke like crazy. And it's a blizzard outside, about 16 degrees, so I'm not opening the door. Why don't we have power? Well, I found why I had no power, and it turns out it's probably also the reason why this thing would randomly die when I was out riding. Turns out our ignition plug that's down in here, it must have a loose wire in one side or the other. I don't know if you guys can see. If I wiggle it, look at that. So, I'm gonna pull these front plastics back off, and so I can get at the wires in there and check them out, make sure they're in the, see, still don't connector good enough. So this is all the problem was, our one wire here into this switch. Oh, where is it? Right there. She was loose and coming out, so I just need to push that back in there and we'll be good to go. And she died.
So to be honest with you guys, I don't really know what happened. As you heard there, she started right up and she sounded great. But as you continue to listen, as I continue to try to get it to start again, it sounds really labored, like it's having a hard time turning over. Now the battery's fresh, so it's not battery power. It's like almost like the piston is seized and tight in the cylinder where it's not turning over easy. So I guess that's pretty much where we're at with the guy.
Beautiful! We're shot. It's definitely shot. Well, hopefully that has you guys all caught up on what's been going on with Project Wounded Warrior. Got her back in the Hillbilly garage now. We are going to see what exactly is going on with it in the next video. We will probably pull the spark plug. We'll take my scope, look down, see if we can see any signs of damage. I don't know if that's going to show anything. So we're probably going to end up tearing the plastics off and tearing back into the top end. The way it's acting, I don't know if we dropped a valve, if our rod went, or our crank bearings went out or something. But it's hard to turn over even by hand with a wrench. So there's something major going on there, I think. But hopefully we'll be able to get this guy up and running, at least eventually. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I don't know if you guys are excited to see Wounded Warrior back or not. But we definitely got to get this guy up and running enough that we can at least do a little bit of ripping in it before I sell it. So I've had this thing for 2-3 years now and have yet to actually do any good amount of riding with it. Other things come to the table, and this really wasn't high priority, but we'll get her going. And I've already put too much work into it not to at least get to ride it a little bit. So, thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting Appalachian Mountain Riders. And until next time, God bless, and keep on riding.